Okay, welcome to our team call. It's Wednesday night. We are full force into April. I'm really, really excited to have Sydney on this call with us. So once you hit Diamond, you get to work with a corporate rep, and Sydney works with Diamond to 2-star. Is that right? And then as you grow, you get to work with Joe and then with Doug. So I'm really excited that she agreed to come on here. She's going to talk about the compensation plan, but she's also going to talk about like how to make your financial goals happen. So she's going to give us some action items, because what good is information if you don't know how to get to where you want to go? So I am going to hand it over to Sydney.
Yay! Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I am so excited to be here with you guys. Thanks, Megan, for asking me. I love doing team calls because I can kind of get the feel for everyone. And I'm gross because I just got done working out, so I apologize for that too, in my gym clothes and everything. But beauty of Beachbody, right? Okay, so I wanted to talk, yes, so Megan asked me to talk about the compensation plan, and when she told me about that, I was like, kind of boring. But I'm going to talk about the compensation plan, and I'm going to try to make it to be like, okay, here's the comp plan, but here's what you need to do to get it. So raise your hand, like, who out of you guys are here to make money? Okay. Good. There's nothing wrong to want to make money out of this business. And what I love about it is the fitness is the business is the fitness. Like, you kind of need to have both. And the fitness part really is about helping people achieve their goals, helping people, hit that weight loss that they needed and help their financial goals, and all that stuff kind of comes hand in hand. But there's the big part, which is the money part, which honestly, that's what I would be there for. If I were a coach, we're not coaches here at corporate, but if I were a coach, I would be there for the money, because you can see all these amazing coaches making money, and you guys can be there right there with them. Sorry, end of the day, I'm mixing up my words already. So I did print off the compensation plan because I will go over this, but I'm going to go over this. I mean, there is 4 ways to get paid at Beachbody, and I'm going to go over these 4 ways, but in more simple terms, and I'm going to go over them in 3 steps. Okay, so we're going to kind of combine them into 3 steps, and these are the 3 steps that honestly you do at Beachbody, and they're simple. Like, I want you guys, if you take anything away from this call, I want it to be, this business is simple. Okay. Yes, it's hard work. Yes, you have to show up. Yes, I'm going to ask you to do these certain things that might be at some point you're like swearing my name because you're like, Sydney said this was simple, but I have to do all this work. That's when you're kind of overthinking it. Okay. So this business really is simple, but I'm going to ask you to do these things, but just always remember, am I keeping it simple? When you sign new coaches, are you keeping it simple? Like, don't get into all the other shiny, crazy objects out there. Like, put your head down, your blinders on, keep it simple. Okay. So we're going to go over these 3 steps. And I'm a huge fan of these 3 steps. And the kind of catchphrase with these 3 steps is you have to master the first step before you master the second step. And you have to master the second step before you master the third step. So they kind of come in order, okay? So the first step, which I'm sure Megan has talked to you guys already about, is the importance of hitting Success Club. And you're like, oh my gosh, Sydney, I know about hitting Success Club. But I really want to dive like deeper into hitting Success Club, because we'll go back to the compensation plan. And then one way to get paid here at Beachbody is the challenge pack bonuses and commission from a challenge pack sales, right? So I want you guys to start making some money and making some good money. And it really does start with step number 1, hitting Success Club. So I'm going to break down hitting Success Club a little bit. And a little kind of backstory about me is, before I got started with Beachbody, I've been with Beachbody for 3 years now, and I love it. It's the greatest thing I've ever done in my life for me. And before that, I was in the mortgage industry, and I was in the mortgage industry for like 9 years. And it was good. It paid the bills, It was definitely a crazy atmosphere, but it kind of is what it is. And I actually got recruited over to Beachbody, and this guy that was also used to be in the mortgage industry, he moved to Beachbody like way before I did, like 5 years before I did. And he just reached out to me one day, and he's like, hey, this is totally random, but we're hiring here at corporate, and I think you'd be really good for it. And I'm like, no, I seriously don't know. And then he's just like, okay, and like kind of just was weird about it. And then a month later, he asked me again. He's like, hey, you know, we're still hiring and we haven't found someone yet. And I really honestly think you'd be great here. And I'm like, no. And I was just looking at the comment. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, just put it in the chat too, or wait till the end, or just, ask me questions too. But so I told him kind of no, and he's like, just come and look at the office. Just kind of take a tour of the office. So I did. So I came here and I walked around the office and I met everyone on the team. I met Jeff Hill and all those people, and I was hooked. So I was like, before I left, I'm like, okay, I think I want a job here. And so then the interview process started, and that's just like a whole other story I could get into. But I really honestly didn't know about the network at all. Nothing about the network. I'm in my mid to late 20s. I have Brazilian butt lift. I bought that one a really long time ago, and I met someone in the Home Depot parking lot, paid $20 for the DVDs, and we're out. Still never offered to be a coach or a challenge group or Shakeology. Like none of that I've never even heard about. So when I was starting like my interview and process and going through all that and getting hired on, they were talking to me a lot about the network. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then they started telling me that they had 400,000 plus coaches. And I'm like, what? Like, you've got to be kidding me. I've never heard of this, and there's that many coaches. So I started with Beachbody, and I started doing calls like these, and a lot of coaches will be like, it's saturated. No one wants to be a coach because there's too many. And I'm like, I really was like amazed. I'm like, no, you got to be kidding me, because I've never heard of anything with this. And I have 2 little sisters in their 20s. Like, none of my friends have heard of coaching or anything like that. So I'm like, no, there's so many more people out there. So I started doing like some of my own little research, and I got into my personal Facebook account, and I had like 1,000 friends, maybe like 800 friends or something. And I went through every single one of my friends individually, and I found one girl who's also a Beachbody coach, and she was actually also in the mortgage industry. So I reached out to her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, small world. I'm like, I see that you're a Beachbody coach. I'm a Beachbody corporate now. Like, how you liking it? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, question for you. I'm like, why did you never invite me to a challenge group or a sneak peek or the coaching opportunity? And she said this, and I'll never forget this. And she's like, well, Sid, why would I? She's like, I see you posting pictures all the time of you on your boat and you having fun on your boat. And so I'm in my swimsuit. And so she's like, it doesn't look like you need like a physical transformation. It doesn't look like you have a lot of weight to lose. And then she said, also, she's like, and obviously I also see you posting, you going on vacations and you doing fun things. So, you know, and I know you do well in the mortgage industry. So she's like, why would I ever reach out to you about to join a sneak peek or the coaching opportunity? So she's just like, you're just not one of the people I would reach out to, because I know you would say no. And honestly, I was like, how rude. Like, who do you think you are, kind of? Like, not to be rude, but it really was like, who do you think you are? Like, what made you think that you can make a decision for me? And that's what she was doing. She looked at me and decided, and she took that decision away from me. So when because like what I would never, ever, ever post on social media, and what I would never, ever, ever talk about, probably still to this day, is that I've suffered from eating disorders my whole life. I've suffered from taking pills and supplements and, teas and all that stuff to stay skinny and to be skinny. I've had so much really bad self-image problems my whole life. My sisters have struggled from that too now. And I think it's kind of a reflection off of me struggling with it. And then what she would also not know, and I would never post about, is I cried every single day coming home from my mortgage industry job. Every single day, because I hated it so bad. But no, I'm not going to go post that on social media. Like, raise your hand if you have an eating disorder. Raise your hand if you hate your job. Like, I'm not going to do that. But she looked at me from what I was posting and decided for me. So when we talk about going back to Hitting Success Club, I'm going to break this down for a little bit, and I want you to constantly remember that, because I'm sure Megan asked you to invite. I'm going to ask you to invite 10 times more, because I honestly think it's not your decision. It's not. And so when you're taking that decision away from people, like, you kind of have to look at yourself and be like, who do I think I am? What makes me the person that can make a decision for this person? What makes me not want to ask this person because they're going to say no to me? You do not know. And it is not your decision to say yes or no. So I'm going to go to these 4 things. So we're still talking about the first step, but I'm going to kind of like do bullet points, 4 things that I want you guys to start doing every single day to move your business forward, because I want you guys to hit Success Club. I want you guys to start making money. We're going to keep getting into that. First step of this 4, adding to your network. I'm sure you guys are posting on social media a little bit. And I know you guys are pretty new coaches, right? Pretty new, kind of getting started. So I don't want to like throw up all over you guys, but so I want you guys to take what I'm saying, start playing around with it, start getting used to it, and building up to what these numbers I'm going to tell you to start doing. I don't want to freak you out by any means and you guys like stop, because I want you to start getting your feet wet, okay? So I want you to start adding, you're posting every single day, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, whatever social media account, that's great. Instagram, I would definitely be using those Instagram stories every single day too. They're super, super, super powerful right now. But I want you guys to start finding your people, right? If you're on Facebook, I want you guys to go add like 5 to 10 new people every single day. Okay, we just want people to come see our pages, okay? So that's what we're doing. Instagram, I want you to start finding people. Maybe it's based on your hashtags. Like if you have a hashtag dog mom, that would probably be mine, because I'm a dog mom and I talk about my dogs all the time and I love my dogs. So I would like go to hashtag dog mom and find other people that are kind of like me, that are posting pictures about their dogs, but also posting pictures with their spouse and their friends and like to have fun and like to have a good time. Like those would type of be my people. Okay, so you just go and you just start kind of following them on Instagram. 5 to 10 of those people every single day, okay? Like I said, if you're brand new and you're just getting started, start with 3. Like I want you to start getting comfortable building up your network, okay? So it's adding to your network. Number 2, connecting with people. Connecting kind of same amount. I think around 5 to 10 a day is great. Work up to like 20 a day because you're going to start getting used to it, okay? On Facebook, like with this is kind of Facebook and Instagram, but algorithms are tricky, right? And haven't you noticed, like the people you truly care about, like your best friend or your sister or your brother or your mom or your spouse, when you log into Instagram or any social media platform, it's that they're like the first people you see. You guys notice that? It's because you care, right? And it's because you're liking all their posts and you're commenting all those posts. So we're going to spread that around with our connections. So what I want you guys to do is start connecting with people. You're scrolling through Facebook. You see someone post a picture of their dog. I'm going to use that example again. You right below, you comment on it, and this is Instagram too. You comment below, oh my gosh, cutest dog ever. What kind is it? Okay, so you're giving them like some love and you're asking a question, because what's going to happen is they're going to write you back like, oh my gosh, it's a boxer, thank you so much. Like they just fell in love with you because you complimented on their dog, you told them what kind it is. Like you're building that connection, right? And with algorithms, now you are going to start popping up on their news feed. Okay, your stories are going to start popping up first when you're doing that stuff. So connecting is so important in this business. Make sure that you are doing new people every single day. Like I kind of give you guys the 5 to 10, working up to 20 a day. Shouldn't take forever, honestly. Like it should be pretty fast. Like you're just scrolling through and, oh my gosh, I love your shoes. Where'd you get them from? I've been looking for a shirt like that. Where'd you get it from? Oh, your daughter's outfit is so cute. How did you do your daughter's hair? Like whatever it is, just start asking questions. People love to kind of talk about themselves a little bit. And so you want to ask them questions about themselves. Easy. Okay, so that's your connecting. Third one, the scary invite, right? I don't want it to be scary. I go back to my story. It is not scary to invite because it is not your choice. And honestly, I think it's kind of rude if you don't invite people. I do. I took a huge offense to it when I found out she didn't invite me based on my profile looks. So I think you guys just have to kind of get out of your own way with it and have the belief and the confidence that what you have is honestly what people need so much. So be confident with that. But the invite, 3 a day, I think is a great number to invite to. And I would just make it simple. Okay. Going back to that word, simple. Don't get in crazy this. Don't feel like you have to build a connection with them forever and message them for 2 months about their children and then be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to say, do you want to join my free group? No. Make it simple. Make it easy. Like, hey, I noticed that you're, or thanks for following my fitness journey. Are you on a fitness journey as well? That's an invite to me. Your profile is so inspiring and so motivating. Are you a coach as well? That's an invite to me. Hey, I have a group of women getting together and we're going to talk a little bit about what I do. Do you want to join? That's an invite to a sneak peek. Like some of these just little type of like you're having a conversation with your best friend. Okay, so you just want to start getting really comfortable with the inviting and inviting to what you have going on. And if you feel like you don't have anything going on, ask Megan. Megan will have something going on for you. Like our challenge group starts this day. Running a sneak peek is huge, like bringing people into the business. And the best way people are doing that right now, kind of a little side note, is inviting to sneak peeks and inviting to the business is honestly just kind of like what I said. It's like you're adding people, you're connecting, and you're just DMing them and saying, Call, I found you because I'm also a dog mom. Your dogs are adorable. How fun is it? Hey, are you a coach as well? If they say, no, what's a coach? Oh, great. Well, actually, I can show you what a coach is. I think you'd be amazing at it. I have a sneak peek next week. I think you'd be great to join. Here's the link. Like you kind of want to start like assuming the sell a little bit. Does that make sense? Like don't make it be like, oh, I'm doing a sneak peek and I mean, you can join if you want. What are your thoughts behind it? Like, no, keep it simple. Just be like, hey, I'm doing a sneak peek, or hey, are you a coach? I think you'd be awesome at it. Here's the link to join. Like start assuming the sell because honestly, people want direction. So it's just kind of you being bold enough to give them a little direction. And if they say, no, I'm not interested. Okay, great. No worries. Well, thanks for following my fitness journey. Let me know if you ever change your mind. Like that's okay. This isn't for everybody, but it's still their choice to make. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Assuming the sell, I love. Yes, assume the sell. Like keep it going. Okay, so that's Hitting Success Club. So do you feel like, 4 things. So add, connect, invite. The last thing is follow up. So those people who said no to you over Christmas because Christmas was busy, or January 1st because they thought they could do it on their own. How many times have we thought we could do it on our own and needed a challenge group instead? I'm one of them. So when those people said, I'm just going to take the month and do it by myself, follow up with them. And it could just be easy like, how did it go in January? Did you kill it? Like you look great. How are you doing with it? And they're going to come back to you and be like, oh, gall, the struggle was real. I'm ready to jump in with you now. Okay, so add, connect, invite, follow up. It sounds like do these steps sound familiar? Yes, so Megan's probably shared them with you, which I love because it really is simple. It's easy. It just needs to be done. It just needs to be like when you're spending time with Beachbody, these are the 4 things I really want you to concentrate on. Okay, we're building up your momentum and that fire to hit Success Club every single month so you can start getting paid. Yeah? Okay, so that's all the first step, hitting Success Club. So now we're going to go into the second step, which the second step is a little bit like the first step, but it's recruiting. So you have to master Hitting Success Club, and then you're going to start mastering recruiting. Now, recruiting with the compensation plan is really where you start seeing the big bucks, okay? But in order to do this, like I said, you have to hit Success Club first. But, okay, so recruiting is where you start seeing the big bucks. It's that team cycle bonus kicks in. And I don't really want to go into exactly how the team cycle bonus works, but I just want you to know that you will earn I guess I could do cycle. So when you're an emerald, it's $14. Ruby, it's $16. Diamond and above, it's $18. So you earn that amount every time someone in your downline does something. Okay, has some volume. So when they sell, when they hit Success Club, when they're building up their volume, you get a part of that. That's the team cycle bonus. So when you're building this organization, you have a right leg and left leg, and you're just building tons of people underneath you. When they start doing stuff, or even just like purchasing Shakeology and stuff like that, you start earning the commission off of it. So that's why it's so important to just start growing your organization. So how do I grow my organization, right? Because that's really what we want to know. I'm going to go back to kind of what we were just talking about, because that really is the recruiting, is it's talking about it, okay? And it's kind of getting out of your comfort shells a little bit. Like, I want you guys to talk about the business a little bit. No, you don't have to be like, I'm a Beachbody coach. Who wants to join me and be a Beachbody coach? But no, like, start doing that curiosity marketing a little bit. Like, hey, most of you guys probably do this part-time, and part-time coaches are my favorite coaches to work with because I feel like you're more relatable. And even if you are a full-time Beachbody coach and you stay at home all day, you're probably not sitting down on your computer for 8 hours a day, so you're technically still a part-time Beachbody coach. But I love you can just say, Carl, I am so grateful that I'm able to pay for my groceries working part-time from home. Bam, I would be doing snaps like that, I'd be doing posts like that, I'd be doing all this stuff. I'm so grateful that when my daughter's sick, I'm able to still be at home because I work at home. Or, I'm able to work at home, and so I'm able to be with my daughter. You do your wording, right? I'm so, God, look at this journey of women I'm helping. I'm able to help. I just helped one of my people lose 10 to 15 pounds in my challenge group. How incredible is that? Like, start showing what you can do in your challenge groups. Like, start doing side-by-sides of your challengers in your challenge groups. Start, doing, like, you have 5 people in your challenge group, add everyone's weight together in a week and say, God, out of the women I've been helping, we've lost a total of 30 pounds this week. Like, stuff like that is incredible, and that's what people are looking for. And even, too, it could be like a post like, hey, who wants to lose 10 to 15 pounds by Memorial Day? Memorial Day is coming up. Let's start thinking about that. Let's start getting people in the pipeline for that. Okay, like, just kind of be strategic with your wording a little bit. Talk about the opportunity. Talk about your challenge groups. Talk about what you're able to do as an online fitness coach, because that's what you are. Okay, so you don't have to say I'm a Beachbody coach, but you can say I'm an online fitness coach. I can help you lose 10, 15 pounds by Memorial Day weekend. Awesome. Where do I sign up? I actually had so this is like another kind of side note, but I had this coach. Well, it was actually a friend. So it was a friend, and she was on my private Instagram, and she was like, I'm so excited to get started with my health and fitness plan. Thank you so-and-so for the 12-week training. So I clicked on the so-and-so person, and it was this guy, and he really was an online fitness coach, and he charged $900 for a 12-week eating plan and working out plan. So what are we doing that we are not, like, bombarded with it? And I think what we're not doing is we're not showing what we do. We're not showing what we do in a challenge group, and we're not showing what we do as a coach. So I recommend doing that all of the time. And that's how you're going to start getting your recruiting up, is showing it and then the invite to it. Making sure you're inviting to a sneak peek, making sure that you're inviting to the coaching opportunity. Your challengers, great place to invite to the coaching with. And like I said, kind of assume the sell with it. Like, this is honestly what I would say, and it'd be so easy. I had a challenger in there, 2 weeks, lost 4 pounds, doing great. I'd reach out to him and say, oh my gosh, girl, you are doing incredible. Has anybody else noticed your transformation? Because you're just looking amazing, and I've noticed. Question number 2, how are you liking your Shakeology? Are you ready for a new flavor or a new recipe? Now, in the meantime, in my challenge groups, I would be going live or showing my new Shakeology flavors and recipes every single day. I'd be trying new flavors and new recipes. Like, one day I'd wake up and be like, I really want a cinnamon roll, but I'm going to make my shake into a cinnamon roll. This is how I did it. The next day, cookie dough sounds so good. This is how I made my Shakeology into cookie dough. The next day, who wants Girl Scout cookies right now? I'm going to make my shake into a thin mint. Me too. But I'm going to make my shake into a thin mint and show you how. So when you're asking these questions, they kind of are already aware of the other products out there, right? That's why the sampler pack is amazing right now. But anyway, so you're asking about your transformation. You're asking them if they like their Shakeology and they want to try a new flavor or a new recipe. And then right then I'd just be like, do you like discounts? And when they say yes to all 3 of those, you say, great, this is the next step. We're going to sign you up as a coach. We're going to rock your basics together. I'm sure Megan has like a coach basics program that you can put them into. And then to say, not only are you going to get a discount on your Shakeology, but if you want to invite a couple family members and friends to my next challenge group, you can and get your Shakeology paid for. Here's the link. So see how, like, it kind of was like assuming that sell. You're just like, great, you said yes to all 3. These are the next step. Okay. Here's a link to sign up as a coach. You're going to rock the basics, this, and this, and this. They already trust you. They already know that they're going to get results. They already know that you've been great you've been a great leader in your challenge groups. So it's just like, this is the next process. Keep it simple. Okay? Simple, 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 simple. So that's going to help you guys recruit. So you're mastering Hitting Success Club, you're mastering recruiting, and then my third step gets to, once you get really good at those ones, you can move to the third step, and that's getting your coaches to hit Success Club as well. So I don't think I need to go a ton into this right now, but what I will say is it is crazy to me how many coaches will do things when you lead by example. Okay, so trust me, I get it every single day. How do I get my coaches to work? How do I get my coaches to Emerald? How do I get my coaches to start hitting Success Club? They will once you've mastered the first step and the second step. Okay, but that brings me to the next 2 steps on the compensation plan, and it's the team cycle bonus, and that's you earn 5 or 10% on each of your personally sponsored coaches' team cycle bonus. So it just trickles down that downline, right? So your PS coaches are hitting Success Club. That's great. It builds up more volume, and you cycle, and you get those teams matching bonuses, okay? 5 to 10% of them. And then the 4th one is the Star Diamond bonus you get when you are 2-star, 5-star, 10-star, and 15-star. Like, you should see these bonuses. Like, they are ridiculous. But that honestly comes when you start building a team, okay? And what that is it's, I think that's it's like a pool. What does it say? So it's just the bonus pool it's based on the volume generated by all coaches in the quarter, and then it's divided between those 4 groups. So if you're a 15-star, you get the 15-star, you get the 10-star, you get the 5-star, you get the 2-star. So you get all of the bonuses. So it's just a huge payout, and I know you guys can all be there, and it really does start with those 3 steps, and you're just doing those 3 steps over and over and over again, hitting Success Club, recruiting, getting your coaches to Success Club, and really just diving into those 3 things. And you can make this honestly whatever you want to do. You honestly really can. I've seen it. I know it. It really is like my biggest advice to coaches are like, how do I even get started, or how do I do this, or how, like, whoa, and it goes back to keeping your priorities in straight with it, like making sure, when I say priorities, I mean like the vital behaviors every single day. Product to the product is huge. Sharing your story with that, and then those daily 4s, the add, connect, invite, follow up. If you do those 2 things, the vital behaviors and those daily 4s every single day, like, I'm going to see you guys be talking at Summit. Like, no lie. Like, that's how cool it is. Okay, so that's kind of what I had today. Those 3 steps to follow. Questions, anything you want to ask me, I am here for you guys. And you guys can take yourself off mute or something.
That was awesome. You guys, if you have any questions, take yourself off mute because she's only here once. Don't be afraid to ask. Like, if it's about inviting or posting or like anything she talked about, it doesn't have to just be the compensation plan. Kelsey, go ahead.
So I just have a question about like inviting. So like, I've invited people that like, even though they are in really good shape, or like I think they would still benefit from like the community or like coaching because they're already like super into health and fitness. And then I get a well, what, you think I don't look good enough, or what, you think I need help, or like I get like a really negative response. And so I struggle with like trying to not take that personally, and then just come back with being like, yeah, that's great. Like, I think you do look great. I think what you're doing is great. But like, I thought maybe benefiting from like having another support system or like having community to share that with would be beneficial. And then I get like just nasty responses. So I struggle with like not judging people by their profile, but then also trying to come up with like, it's not just about having that certain body figure. It's not just about having a certain part of it. So I guess, how do you like kind of approach that kind of response to people?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So what I would do, especially with like people into fitness and people that already, are like, you can tell they're working out all the time. You can tell they're at the gym all the time. Like those type of people. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Yeah.
So what I would honestly say is I would lead with the business. I would honestly lead right in with the business, and I'd just say, hey, have you ever thought about making money doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
Because that's honestly kind of what it is if they're posting about the fitness, or have you ever thought about making money for your Instagram posts? Because that's what it is. If they're especially like posting like, oh, look at my back, and oh, look at this, and oh, look at this, like, that's great. I would just honestly contact them right about the business. Like, are you a coach as well? Like, use that line, are you a coach as well? And they're like, oh no, what's a coach? Be like, oh, I thought you were because like you're ripped, you look great. Have you ever thought about making a living doing what you're doing? You know, and maybe they don't need the big transformation, but you know they can jump on Shakeology. Great.
Yeah.
And then you know they are probably already have a following and they already kind of have that proof. So I think it's when you lead more towards the business, maybe not the fitness too much. Thoughts on that? Does that help a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Any other questions? That's good. Okay, so I have one more thing to add, Megan. Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so what I want to do with you guys, I need to take a picture of who's on this call. I'll screenshot. I'm going to screenshot you guys all with your names so I get who's on this call. Okay, so what I would like to do with you guys is if you guys do those daily 4s every single day for the month of March, okay? So I've already given you, like, what is today, the 7th? So I'm already giving you like a couple days off. But if you do them every single day from March 7th to March 31st, and what I would do is every single day, take a piece of paper, split it in 4s, write add, connect, invite, follow up, and write down the person's first name. I added Amanda, Samantha, Tiffany. I connected with Ken, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. Take a picture of it at the end of the day, every single day. You can send it to Megan to keep track of it. You can send it directly to me to keep track of it. Either me or Megan. Megan might be better. But sorry, Megan. But it'll be good. So send it to Megan. And you guys can even send it to me too, because I would actually really love to see him. It's Sydney J. Maurer on Facebook. Add me. But if you send them to Megan or me every single day for the end of the month, and you guys show me the proof that you're doing that, and it has to at least be 3 on every line. I don't want just 1. I want like 3 on every line minimum. I will go into the Utah Swag Closet and send you guys out some swag. Cool? Some Beachbody swag from the Utah Swag Closet. Okay, so it's exclusive to you guys for joining me tonight. So I'm really excited about it. And I do want to see him. So I said send him to Megan, but I would love actually if you sent him to me as well. Maybe send him to both of us or something. But it has to be every single day. You guys have already had I usually give people Sundays off, but we're already 7 days in. I think you guys can do it on a Sunday. That work or is that scary? Are you guys up for the challenge? Okay, and I'll really go like dig deep in the Utah Swag Closet and get you guys something cool. Okay.
How freaking awesome. Are you guys ready? I'm like super excited. Everyone in this call is going to hit Success Club this month. I know Kelsey's already at SC2. Alyssa's at SC2. I know she's not on the call, but okay. Thank you, Sydney, so much for hopping on. I think I have like a huge page full of notes. I hope you guys too. Helpful with inviting, just lots of different ideas of how to word things and talk about things in a less like intimidating way, I think. So thank
Great.
you.
Well, thank you guys for having me, and I will hopefully see you guys all when you hit Diamond. Message me. Be there. Okay, but thank you. Bye-bye.